Did several of those inside low kicks.
It's time!
What's happening, people? It's time indeed. You're through to the Fight Week show, and I'm your host, Ola. I'm here to bring you a recap of the fights that we saw this weekend in Bellator and UFC Vegas that happened out there over the weekend. I mean, let's start with Bellator. Let's start with Bellator first. We had the main event. The main event of the evening, MVP versus Logan Storley. Logan Storley came in very, very prepared, very aware, of what MVP was capable of doing. And this is a very, very well-rounded wrestler, especially when you're a student in Sanford MMA, when you come from that breed of wrestlers, all American wrestler champion. He's got all the accolades, and he's got Henry Hoof behind him. I mean, he's come from a very, 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 very good gym, and he came in there with a game plan. His game plan was mad, and it wasn't one of those, that's there to excite you. It's not one of those that's there to blow you away, but very, very effective. It's a style that gets the job done, and we know what MVP style is all about. We know what MVP is capable of. Salute to you, Craig Molloy. I see you in the chat right there. I mean, you look at that fight, and you look. Obviously, I predicted MVP win. I did not see Storley coming out with a victory in this fight, and I'll tell you why. So Storley, salute to Diego. Good evening, people. Big up everybody that's watching live right now. All of you lot that's watching on playback. Salute to all of you. Thank you very much. We don't do this without you. It's just a quick recap of what happened over the weekend with Bellator and UFC. Okay, so MVP. First round, he's moving and bobbing, shaking and moving and popping, doing his thing, got taken down. Pretty much that was the end of it, halfway through the fight, got taken down. No damage was being done by Storley, but he was controlling MVP. MVP didn't spend no time on the mat, didn't spend no time on his back. He got back up really quick, but he couldn't get off the fence. And every time he was near that fence, Storley could control his hit, he could control the body, he could control where the fight was going. He nullified every single dangerous thing that MVP brought to the table. And we know how explosive MVP is. He can just knock it, he has his hands to the side, and it baits people in. It baits them into just coming and do something. But some of the entries that Storley came in with was fantastic. Some brilliant entries. And I saw a lot of people booing. I watched a lot of, I watched the fight, and a lot of people were booing. In my eyes, I thought Storley was doing a fantastic job, because when you have to fight somebody like MVP, that's the only way to fight them. That's the only, bro. You can't just go trying to stand and bang with someone like MVP. You've seen it happen with Big Up Connor. Salute to you, Connor. You see it happen with people like Wonder Boy, people like Easy. Those guys with those kind of style. The way Jan had to fight Easy, because they weren't going to stand and bang with him in the end. When he realized, look, I'm not having that much luck here, I better take him down, and that's what Jan Blachowicz did, which we're going to talk about him in a little while. So you look at that and you just see what these guys are about. And there's only one way to fight MVP, and that's how Storley fought MVP. He fought him like that in the first round, second round, and third round. Literally took him down and just controlled him. So basically, because there was no damage being done on the ground, you got to go with, more of what we're seeing, which is a lot of grappling, and Storley was winning in that way. Now, come to fourth round, MVP starts lighting him up. And I tell you what, Logan Storley's got such a chin. His chin is grand. I mean, some of the shots that this guy took would have took some other fighters out. I mean, the way MVP lit him up in that fourth round, I thought MVP was actually going to finish the fight in the fourth round. But it turns out that Storley just took a round off. It turns out that he took a round off because I gave Storley the first, second, and third round and the fifth round. I don't know how they arrived at a split decision sort of decision, but for me, it was a clear win by Logan Storley. And salute to Logan Storley. He knew that was the only way to do it. He didn't care that everybody was booing him. He was happy that I was taking the belt back to Sanford. And he's the new champ. He's a welterweight world title, man, and he's the champ. He's the champ right now. MVP was disappointed, but he knew if somebody was really gonna get him, that was the way to do it. You know what I mean? And salute to Storley. On the next bout, we had Lyoto Machida and Fabian Edwards, Leon Edwards' brother. Another crazy fight. Leon Edwards was coming into this fight with the 10-2 record. And we know how look. Lyoto Machida is an elder statesman. He's an elder statesman. You know what I mean? Coming in at 43, he's still an elder statesman. You know what I mean? But when you look at the guys, some of the guys like Arlovsky and Olenek and some of these other guys, you know what I mean? I don't really want to use age too much as a reason why he lost. But Fabian was just too fast. He just got to the punches quicker than him. He was able to put some combinations better than Lyoto Machida. And in the end, he was finding home for some of them punches. He was finding home for them punches, and in the end, he connected with Lyoto Machida and put him out. Very solid win for Fabian Edwards. Salute to him. I know that now he's going to be looking for. Obviously, he came out and told his whole division that everybody is on notice. Everybody is on notice, and that's what Fabian has done with his call out. With his collar in that regard there, but you can't take too much stock on that win against Machida, but still, it's still a very good name to have on your CV. You know what I mean? It's a very fantastic name to have on your CV. Machida is a legend of the sport, and if his name is there to be had on the CV, and if that's a scalp that you got to take, then why not? Okay, we got Dennis Kirholtz versus Kana Watanabe. That's another fight that I thought, bro, I really thought the first strike that was thrown by Denise landed, rocked Kana, and she froze. She wouldn't move. And I thought, oh, is Denise going to go in there and, try and finish the thing? She didn't. Kana, she recovered, got her wits about herself, and then she just started putting it on Denise. Took her down, kept it there. She was looking for some submissions, some wicked submission attempt from Kana Watanabe. In the end, she got that submission in the end, man, and you can't take nothing away from her. Very, very disappointing night for Denise, but Kana Watanabe, she came up with a fantastic submission. On a big night like that. And one more fight that really caught my eye was Wendell Giacomo versus Paul Daly. Paul Daly, the Semtex. This is his swan song sort of retirement fight, and this is a guy coming in with 44 wins and 18 fights. Like he's been around the fight game for such a long time. Been around the fight game for for a vast amount of time, and big up to him because he went out in the way that he really wanted to go out with a big win. He had that big body shot again on Wendell, caught him and then dropped him with a right hook, and and it was all over. That was all she wrote. So fantastic, fantastic. I had all his family there, and everybody, even the cut men, everybody that's around Bellator, they were really, really happy for Paul Daly. And yeah, it's a nice, nice way to go out. Not everybody has that has that kind of a farewell fight, if you like. You know what I mean? Hanging up the gloves, if you like. And you know, he's he had a fantastic reception following that win against Wendell. Um, Onto the UFC card. Let's start with the main event. We got Jan versus Rakic, Alexander Rakic. This fight, I don't know how this fight ended up the way it did. I mean, I'd say Rakic had a very he had a good portion of the fight. If you look, hear my dog in the background there. So apologies, you can hear my dog. She's going berserk right now. Um, but yeah, Rakic and Jan Bahovic, very very good fight. Jan Rakic was putting it on Jan. I'm not gonna lie, Rakic was putting it on Jan, and Jan dealing with adversity, holding his own, because this was always going to be a difficult fight for Jan. This was a test to see against the number three, can you really hold your own and maybe try and find yourself back into contendership for that light heavyweight title? Because now that he's done this against Rakic, there's no doubt in my mind that he's going to be number one after Yuri Prohaska and Glover Teixeira. He's going to be getting the winner of that fight. So whoever is the winner of that fight is gonna, that's who Jan is gonna be getting. Anyways, yeah, Rakic got injured in the third. So something to do with his knee ligament. Something was done, and Jan was able to cinch a submission, got him in the submission, and uh, no, Jan was able to connect, dropped him, and just capitalized on him. Ref had to pull him off. That was in a submission fight. I was just thinking about Ryan Spann there. My bad. We're still talking about Jan. And Jan was able to get the TKO right there. So, talking about Ryan Spann and Ian Kutleba, this is a fight that I actually thought. This is a fight that I actually thought Ian was going to be able to do well. He did well in the opening rounds. He did really, really well. Took him down, took Ryan Spann down. Ryan, had to do. He had a few struggles right there, trying to get back up. He found his way up, and as he did, Kutleba, he just left his neck wide. You can't leave your neck wide open for someone like Ryan Spann, man. He's got some of the best front chokes there is in his division, man. Like, this guy is really, really good when it comes to those. And all in all, fantastic win for Ryan Spann. He got that front choke win on Ian Kutleba, and this is a guy that doesn't even get submitted that much. So that's a really, really good winner for Ryan Spann. David Grant and Louis Smoker. That was another one. Real good fight. This one went all the way to the third round. I gave both of them a round each, going into the third. But David Grant, I mean, when you look at the win that Adrian Yanez has over David Grant, even though it was a split decision, you could see that win has aged well, because when you see the way that David Grant put away Louis Smoker, it was crazy. The ground and pound, the way he put him out was mad. He landed one shot, and then the second one, you could see Louis Smoker's eyes just roll into the back of his head, and that was it for me, man. You know what I mean? That fight there was done. Katlyn Chookagian versus Amanda Ribas. Amanda Ribas came in and she was slinging. She was throwing. She even had Chookagian down. She had Chookagian down on the mat, and she controlled that for a little while. Chookagian found her way back up, and bam. And she just started throwing, putting the combinations together, throwing them jabs, popping them jabs, 1, 2, 3 combinations. And Chookagian was, she did her thing. Amanda Hebas, she's not one of those you can just walk all over her. You know what I mean? She was always going to bring the fight, and she brought the fight to Caitlin Chikegi, and the fight ended up in a split decision win to Caitlin Chikegi, and salute to her. She got a good win right there, and that advances her onto the next project that she wants to be, that she wants to face. Manuel Torres versus Camacho. Jesus Christ. How do you, I mean, this Manuel Torres brother, I mean, he's just come off, I think, Contender Series or something like that, boy. He's got hands on him, man. Manuel Torres is one to watch. You really got to watch this brother, 155 division. He's gonna be a problem. This brother's gonna be a problem. He was just there, ready, and he was finding mark, he was finding home for them punches, nice combinations from Manuel Torres, and in the end, he landed one that put Frank Camacho out, put him out, put him out. It was almost like a walk of KO. It was that mad. I like him. I like him a lot. I like the way he moves around, his confidence, and then let's see what's next for him in the lightweight division. And the last one on the main card was Alan Nascimento versus Jake Hadley. Jake Hadley came into this with the 8-0 record, and Alan Nascimento, one of Oliveira's teammates from the Chukebox gym, came in again, just controlled the fight. Always wanted it on the ground, wanted to go down the ground. He could throw hands as well, but a lot of the fight was on the ground, controlled the fight down there, and he ended up with a unanimous decision win against Jake Hadley and took the O away from Hadley. Some honorable mentions on the prelims. Michael Johnson with a big KO of Alan Patrick. That's another good KO. Again, another one that really, I felt sorry for Angela Hill. Angela Hill versus Jandiroba. I thought Angela Hill was yeah, I mean, she's always on the wrong end. I said it in the preview. I mean, she's always on the wrong end of split decision, and that's why I didn't go for her in this one. And this is another close fight, and she did so well because Jandiroba tried to submit her so many times. You could see how much of a pain she was in. Angela Hill, you could see her face, but she was in so much pain. And Werner couldn't get the submission, but she got the decision against Angela Hill. And we've got another lad called Tatsuro Taira, and he got a unanimous decision against Carlos Candelario, and Andre Petrovsky got anaconda choke against Nick Maximov in the first round. And Vivian Araujo versus Andrea Lee, another good unanimous win for Vivian Araujo on that one. So basically, those are the recap of the fight that we've seen over the weekend. I'm going to be jumping on Ligona's channel for the Newcastle Arsenal game. So yeah, come link us up on there. We're going to be bringing more videos on the channel. We're going to be bringing more previews on the channel, more recaps on the channel, and more news on the channel. It's been a little bit busy with some parts of my life, as you guys know. You know what I mean? It's taking a lot of my time, but we're always finding time to come back in here. And Diego Sipala say your dog is dinner and at it around. Yeah, for real, man. You know what I mean? Anyways, I'm gonna be out of here right now, and everybody that's joined me, salute to all of you. Everybody that's watched on playback, thank you very much for the support. We're growing in numbers, we're growing in views, and we're able to do this with your support, man. You know what I mean? Your support's fantastic. I see the views over the last couple days on the show that we did. So thank you to everybody that's shown support, that's been to watch our videos and get them out there and share them out there. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And on to the next video. Hasta la vista. Salute.